Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Friday, end of the week, and we already start with our controversy. Because yes, Nicolo Rovella is on the lips on every single Juventino. Juventini that are angry, Juventini that are frustrated, but above all, they are searching for someone to give them a valid explanation why on earth Giuntoli is even thinking about loaning or selling permanently Rovella to Lazio. I will try to give you my explanation. Not sure if you will agree or not. I will discover it with the comment section, of course. But then, Vlahovic, Lukaku, saga, Pellegrini, Carlos Augusto, a new possible midfielder to replace Rovella. All of this in today's video. Maximum of like if you didn't yet. Continue to subscribe to the channel because now we start. Yesterday I already told you about Zakaria, and I told you also to enjoy the little moments where all Juventini were aligned. Well, that moment didn't last long, because in the evening we started speaking about Rovella. So what happened yesterday? Zakaria, I made a video and I was feeling the mood of Juventini, proud, happy. We are not a supermarket. If West Ham is offering only 30 million euro after cashing in 105 million euro for Rice, 110 possibly for Paqueta, cashing in that money for that one Conference League, you need to increase that price. We have set our price with Giuntoli 20 million euro. If you are not able to match that, he's going somewhere else. And all Juventini were happy. Giuntoli is cooking, Giuntoli on fire, Giuntolismo, all these beautiful words to describe our new chief of football. But of course, that didn't last long, because we are going towards the hashtag Giuntoli out, because he's thinking possibly to split roads with Nicolo Rovella, the number 13 of Juve. Attenzione. What happened yesterday? I told you about Zakaria. I told you in yesterday's video, and you can go back to it, to Andrea Cambiaso, that after that press conference, we are nearly sure at 99.9% that he will remain with the Bianconeri, that he will wear officially the number 27. Well, this morning we woke up, not with Rovella yet, but with a picture of Connie the Winter to Genoa doing his medical test. We are waiting for the official news on social media that would arrive maybe even while I'm recording. Connie the Winter, they are speaking about a loan with an obligation to buy at 10 million euro if the relegation is avoided by Genoa. So hopefully Genoa, they will stick and they will stay in Serie A next season. But now we have to go back to the controversial news. We start with Pellegrini. Pellegrini that is refusing every single destination. Fulham, Nice, where Juventus with both teams, they already found an agreement between the 8 and the 10 million euro. Juventus, because Pellegrini is refusing everything and he wants to be a bench player at Lazio, well, Juventus is obliged to open talks with Lazio. They even found an agreement at 8 million euro obligation to buy, where Lazio is starting to take time. Because they want a reduction, they want a deduction, they want a reduction on the price, they want to save money, where Juventus is saying no. Same strategy as Zakaria, same strategy as Dusan Vlahovic, Chelsea. Our price or he's going nowhere. If he wants to stay in the stands for 1 year, we don't care. But now, of course, Lazio is again talking about Rovella. They want Rovella on top of Pellegrini, thinking about doing a formula Pellegrini plus Rovella for X amount of euro, with obligation, with loan, with whatever you want to, but they are trying to think about a package. And Juventus is waiting for that offer. Will tell me, Beppe, how is it even possible that Giuntoli's cooking is now going towards the Giuntoli out? Because he's really thinking about sitting at the table with Lazio for Rovella and Pellegrini. If for Pellegrini we don't care, for Rovella we really care, because he was the regista. He was the one that you told me a few days ago that he could be the surprise of Juve. What happened in the meanwhile? Well, let's go back in time to explain Rovella to Lazio how on earth is possible. We know that it has always been the priority of Maurizio Sarri, that is seeing in the 21 years old Italian player the future midfielder of his team. They already tried, when we were open talks for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, to insert in that swap deal plus money Rovella, where Juventus categorically say no. Rovella is going nowhere. Rovella is not going to Lazio. He's our player, we are counting on him, and we want to test him in USA. Then, towards the end of the Mercato, if we don't have the answers that we want from Nicolo, we can possibly sit. In the meanwhile, you know that the Milinkovic-Savic deal collapsed, he went to Saudi Arabia, and the talks were done. Rovella out of the market at the moment. They traveled to USA, We were all curious to see where Rovella would play, how much Rovella will play, what would happen with Locatelli. Would Locatelli be the first regista with Rovella being his sub, or Locatelli being a mezzala with Rovella being the starter in the middle? Unfortunately, an injury, and we were not able to see any single minute, not even any single second, of Rovella at Juventus. Where Juventus is thinking, we have one competition only. The player, he's asking playing time. He wants some reassurance. The player is really thinking that he deserves to be nearly a starter. But we have one competition only, because that happened in the USA tourney. Not only he was injured, but we received that bad news that we would not play that Conference League. If you are not playing Conference League, the time is really reduced. The opportunities for a lot of players are really reduced. And he says, I am absolutely not against Lazio. If I don't have the playing time that I need, I would even go to Lazio. And that's where we are today. Then, on top of that, Vlahovic, Chelsea is at the moment frozen. We will give you an update in a second, but at the moment is frozen. So, ragazzi, you are telling me, if we are starting with that last option, Vlahovic to Chelsea is frozen. Don't sell Vlahovic because he's the future. We don't want Lukaku. If you're telling me don't sell Chiesa, don't sell Ealing Jr., don't sell him, don't sell Rovella, don't sell this. I told you, a big name had to be sacrificed. I'm telling you, before the Mercato started, already last season, when we knew that we would be out of the Champions League competition, where we lost 100 million euro. I told you, one, if not two, big names would have been sacrificed. It is what it is. It is a reality. So you can't complain simultaneously of keeping possibly, and it's not over yet, Dusan Vlahovic, but selling nobody. Yeah, you tell me, Beppe, sell McKennie, stop the contract with Pogba, sell Bonucci, sell this, sell that. Well, I tell you, I give you an update. Pogba is not sure to stay, but Juve is even open to sell Pogba. It's Pogba that at the moment is really believing that he can, before the month of September or in the beginning of September, being again a player that is available for Juventus. And at the moment he's refusing the offers for Saudi Arabia. But Juventus is open for it. Juventus put Bonucci out of the team. More clear than that, the message can't be. Juventus put him out of the team, hoping that he's accepting a new destination, that it can be Ajax, that can be MLS or whatever. Juventus has momentarily taken out of the Mercato Weston McKennie because of the injury situation of Pogba, of Rovella, Rabiot and Fagioli that were not ready to travel to USA. But Weston McKennie is still on the market if the right offer arrives, and I continue to underline the right offer. Same strategy as for Pellegrini, same strategy as for Vlahovic, same strategy as for Zakaria. So Juventus is working towards it, but the players that you want to sell, hey, everyone wants to sell them. But not necessarily these players are the easiest one to stop contract with, like Alexander, or to sell. So at a certain moment, if you can't sell one of the big names, if you don't want to sacrifice Chiesa, you will have to go towards other players that have requests, that have Mercato, and where you can cash in. There were a lot of news yesterday, a bit misunderstanding news, where Lazio would be ready to offer 15 million euro for Rovella, where a few hours later we see that the requests of Juve are at 24, 23, 25 million euro for the player that could become a Laziale. So Juventus is putting the price high for Rovella, and at the moment he's going nowhere. Is it a possibility that he leaves Juve? Yes, it is possible, especially if you have another player that proved himself during the summer. We are speaking about Hans Nicolosi, that can play and as a regista and as a mezzala. So attenzione on that one. Again, I would be sad that we don't see Rovella, because I considered him the possible surprise for 23-24. I was really counting on him, but if the player is not convinced because he don't believe in himself having the minutes at disposal at Juve, if the player, we are still doubting about his physical condition, you know what? Cash in and think about something else. And what can be that something else? Well, we are speaking about some midfielders. Like yesterday, Sky Sport told us a list of midfielders between Khephren, Thuram, my personal target, my dream, Thomas Partey from Arsenal, maybe one of the dreams of Allegri. I want to also repeat that Khephren Thuram is the name where Allegri and Giuntoli are agreeing with. And then Sofiane Amrabat. For Sofiane Amrabat, we have an update from Gazzetta dello Sport that are telling us that Sofiane Amrabat is a difficult one. I personally don't believe that he's the player for Juve. I think that we can already exclude Sofiane Amrabat from being a Juventino, but then you have Habib Diarra, the cheap player, because we are speaking about 12, we are speaking about 15 million euro asked by Strasbourg for a player where you have already some competition on 19 years old, but looks like, according to Sky Sport, that he can be the easy, cheap, but favorite option for Juventus. I continue to tell you, if we are able to do business with our requested price for Rovella, for Zacharias we did yesterday, for Connie the Winter, for maybe Weston McKennie, we have to go for Khephren Thuram. We have to go and try all in. Anyway, this is what I wanted to say about Rovella, why possibly he could leave Juve, but oh, ragazzi, don't dream, It's not because you sold 20 million euros Zakaria that now everything is fantastic, everything is beautiful, oh, now we will start to invest on Kylian Mbappe or No. Ragazzi, this is not possible. I told you 140 million between salary savings and sales has to be done for Juventus to start breathing and thinking about starting buying players. So we have really to do much more. And if you keep Vlahovic, someone has to leave. Now, Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking not only about Inter that is looking for a number 9, but also about Dusan Vlahovic that is showing the love towards Juventini. I am your number 9. I want to stay. Telling us that the saga with Lukaku is further and further away from Juve. They are telling us, Gazzetta dello Sport, really clearly that at the moment everything is frozen. Yesterday they even told us, attenzione, with Tottenham that is now looking for a number 9, he could be an option for Tottenham, and I'm sure that all the Juventini would celebrate and say, go Hammers, Hammers? I don't know. Go Tottenham, Forza Tottenham, if they are able to seal the deal for Lukaku. On the other side, you know that you have their competition, Corriere dello Sport, and they are telling us, Lukaku, Juve, we continue, we don't stop, with already a possible new meeting on Monday or Tuesday. So if one side it's over, the other side is saying, we continue, we don't give up, it will happen, we are convinced about it. Where you have the more balanced Tutto Sport that is telling us in their double page, what about DV9 Lukaku? It is not over, they continue to speak about it until the end. Strategy of Chelsea, we don't know what will happen. In case you still have the Jokers that really prove themselves in USA or in that friendly, Caio Giorgi and Yildiz, that could be a really important resource for Juventus, loaning them out in a Serie A team, or maybe even giving them the chance to be sometimes promoted from the youth team, next gen, to the first team. What do you prefer? Let me know. One thing is sure, if today I'm watching the training session of Juventus, or at least seeing them entering the field, who do I see? Huijsen and Caio Giorgi. Huijsen and Kenan Yildiz. Both of them entering the field. While Joseph Nongue has been sent back to the next gen, these two players are at the moment still continuing to train with the first team. What are we doing? What is Allegri cooking? Is he cooking the fact that he will bring them, both of them, on the bench against Udinese? Is one of them, or maybe both of them, will they be integrated with the first team? Well, of course, it depends on how many players you are selling. Now, I told you about Lukaku. I told you about Vlahovic. One thing that really can make sure that everything is going in acceleration mode is the fact that Harry Kane accepted to go to Bayern Munich. And now Bayern Munich is not an option anymore for Vlahovic. Tottenham is looking for a striker. Will they go for Vlahovic? Will they go for Lukaku? What will happen with Chelsea? Because they still want to put Lukaku on the market. Attenzione in the next few hours. It's not over. Max, hai sentito Cambiaso? Max, did you hear Cambiaso? That yesterday made one thing sure. I prefer to attack than to defend. He's not your left back that is remaining in his position. It's a player that is going up. And yesterday he even said, Max Allegri told me to not be afraid, that I have to increase the assist and the goals I'm doing. What is happening with Allegri? Is he really changing mentality? Is he going for a change of mentality where he's asking Enwea and Cambiaso, Kostic, Ealing Jr. to go up? We will discover it in the next few games. And that's why I'm really interested to see the game of tomorrow against Atalanta. On the other side, you see that Juventus is still looking for another player on that left side. Beppe, you told us that we were with so much on the left side that nobody else will arrive because we have so many players. Well, Juventus is open to possibly sacrifice or one between Kostic or Ealing Jr. For who? For Carlos Augusto. 15 million euro is the request from Monza. 40% will go to Corinthians, that is still owner of that percentage, but Juventus and Giuntoli really want to go for that player that is also offensive in that 3-4-3 that Monza is playing. The intentions to play higher, the intentions to play more offensively are all there. Ragazzi, today is the birthday of Massimiliano Allegri. Happy birthday to the coach that won a lot with Juventus, that had a fantastic first spell at Juve, a disaster last 2 seasons. I already start people not reacting well also and starting with insulting Max Allegri on the day of his birthday. That's something that I categorically refuse to read and to promote. What I would ask him and you is, please give him a chance. Give him a chance. The intentions are there. Then, against Udinese, against Bologna, against Sassuolo, against Lazio, we will see what Allegri is doing. I told you, I would have thought that he would have left. I would have thought that it was probably the best solution to change coach. It didn't happen. So now, today, on the 11th of August, happy birthday, Max Allegri. I wish you a fantastic season with not a lot of injured player, with a healthy team, and that you are showing us that you can still do it. Let us see. We will discover and we will speak in 1 month where we are about Max Allegri Juventus. What about Jurgen Klopp? Well, Jurgen Klopp, I don't know. Maybe he will leave football forever. Because do you remember in 2016 when he said the day that we will sell players for 100 million euro, I will probably stop with football because that's not the football that I like. Well, apparently they just signed Cancedo for 125 million euro. Anyway, there are more news to speak about. Probably it's not the moment to do it because the video is already long. So ragazzi, let me know. Rovella, The Winter, Thuram, Habib, Diarra. Let us know about the players that we talk about Max Allegri. Grazie, forza, Juve.